What is good, CGS fam? Welcome back to CGS to the max. And as you can see, I got my big brother, Dune.
Yo, yo.
Little brother Doggy is he's on vacation. He's enjoying himself. He needed time to relax, and we wanted to give it to him. But we do have one of the OGs from the city. He's got a crazy Air Max collection. He's got some crazy stories. It is Sean, aka at Uncle Sean Sneakers on Instagram. What up, bro?
What up, guys?
Yeah,
Yo, thank
buddy.
you for taking the time to do this with us. We had to hit up one of the
Yeah, man.
crazy OG Air Max heads that we know, just so you can share stories, just talk Air Max, because we know that you will show how much you love them.
Right.
And like, man, it was no question. We had to have you on here. So
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here. It's an honor to be on here. So do you want to run through the questions, or do you want me to look at my phone and?
No,
Okay.
we'll run through the questions. We'll do it like
Yeah,
quote unquote interview style, but it'll be more of a conversation.
Very cool.
And
Yeah.
start it off with the question,
Yo.
bro.
All right, man. So like, what really got you started into like collecting Air Maxes? Like everybody's got that story. Like it's like you have to have a story. I know you got a story. Let's hear it. Let's hear
Yeah.
the story.
So I mean, like growing up, like I'm literally born on like in '80, so like I'm 40, and growing up in my era, Jordan was just literally coming up. I remember my neighbor, Alvin and Patrick, they used to run ball, and I was the kid just sitting on the grass, just watching them. And he had cement fours. I remember that. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, so he had cement fours, like OG. He had all the women. Like he was a pimp. Like he got me into like Calvin Klein Eternity Cologne. It was crazy. So, anyways, long story short, I was like,
Yeah.
I want those shoes, but coming from immigrant family,
Yeah.
like I didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like Alvin was
Mhm.
Filipino. His parents were like,
Yeah.
they were well to do, but long story short, I could never afford it. My mother and father basically got me whatever I could. Obviously, byway sneakers weren't sufficient on the playground, so I went I had everything from like Brooks to like Reebok to Adidas to Nikes, but I gravitated toward Nikes. Air Maxes, particularly. My mother will tell you the story. She's 76. She'll tell you the story that she made the trek from Scarborough to Kiel and Howie 7, and there's a national sports by bus, and this is back in the day, in the 80s, to buy my brother infrareds.
No way.
And she'll tell me like it still shows up on my Visa bill. Like so, anyways, my brother had a lot to do with my sort of shaping of my style, culture, and things of that nature, and music and stuff like that. So, seeing that my parents couldn't afford J's, seeing as my brother got a pair of Air Maxes, whatever my brother had, I literally had. So, that kind of gravitated me toward Air Maxes. One, they were slept on. Two, they're very cost effective. And three, I think everyone in like in the North American market can agree that if it's not a ball shoe, it's sitting on clearance, right? So I mean, like for the most part, running shoes or trainers or however you want to word it was never sought after, right? Meaning they were readily available in any size and wherever the case is. So I think that's what kind of got me into Air Maxes, and that kind of segues into the next sort of question that you guys had lined up, which was like, and I don't want to overtalk you guys, but one of the questions was one of your crazy stories. And so I don't know if you guys want me to go into that or.
No, do it, bro. Do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember it was me and Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Dalton back. What up?
Yeah. So me and Dalton, we always used to make runs to Detroit, and I remember one time, I forget what time it was or what day it was, but I think it was one of the days that we went down there. I want to say it was the same day that we picked up I want to say like 30 pairs of grape 5s. I think it may have been a different day, but either way, we were at this mall, and Dalton knew one of their store managers, and everyone's getting J's because they were all into ball and whatever. and I remember picking up a pair of infrareds that were sitting on clearance. I think no word of a lie. I think I still have the price tag on the shoe. I think they were like $30, like $29. And this is
What?
the HOA pack. So this is like
Bro.
06.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were literally just sitting
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm in university working 4 jobs, and I barely had
Yeah.
money to even go down there. I remember, and I was like, I'm at least gonna walk away with something. I can afford $30.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I remember
Mhm.
getting the shoes, and everyone's like, yo, you got those shoes? And I was like, yeah. And I also got an employee discount because Dalton's buddy hooked me up. What up, Doug? And what happened was years later, the thing was, I think the crazy thing is that back in the day, and I think this just speaks on behalf of the culture altogether, was that I don't think any of us realized what we actually like. Now we understand that they're heat or whatever kids
Yeah.
call them now, but back then we just we collected what we liked. It was very much more niche.
Yeah.
And so still to this day, a lot of Air Maxes, if it wasn't for people like Travis Scott, Kanye, Drake, like at the helm of the vehicle and pushing that marketing vehicle to have, okay, Drake came up with like whatever his Air Maxes or Air Force Ones or whatever the case is, but like something that was non-ball shoes that were not sought after,
Yeah.
are now getting more traction. And a lot of people are saying, okay, you know what, like the Sean Witherspoons, okay, great, he mishmashed this, and then all of a sudden it got traction and a lot of people started to like it. But I mean, Air Maxes to me, even back then, were very easy to cop shoes, made a statement, and they were very attainable, man. I mean, like, I think it's one of those things that a lot of people know Tinker for Jordan, right? But Tinker was more than just Jordan. Tinker literally revolutionized the entire sneaker industry.
Straight up.
Like, Phil may have catapulted like Bill Bowerman and whatever the case is, but like Tinker actually put people on the map. You know what I mean? Like put Nike on the map. And so I think a lot of people kind of discredit or maybe not shed as much light into Tinker sort of creations, right? So and it has the creativity. They're very attainable, and it's a kind of a general market, right? It's not one specified shoe that's only for running or it's only for basketball. It's you'll see Michael Jordan in Air Maxes, right? And
man.
LeBron, and it's a very versatile shoe in that sense. But yeah.
Crazy.
Nice, yo.
Now I'm excited to get into the second question, man. So what are currently not necessarily your top 3 of all time, but the top 3 in your collection at the moment? As we said before, our top 3 changed, man. Like we recorded ours last week, and my top 3 changed like yesterday. So you know what I mean? What's your current top 3?
I have more shoes than because I can't. It's hard for me to narrow it down.
Do your thing, bro. Show us what you got to show us, man.
First, it's not an Air Max per se, and some people argue if it is an Air Max or if it's not. But it's an Air Max 180 or an Air 180. You guys know that I love 180s.
Yes.
So this pair of 180s, I remember it was released on an Air Max month, I think a few years ago. And I remember seeing LeBron coming out of the change room, or he was basically wearing the shoes. And I was like, what the fuck is that guy wearing? And I don't want to say I'm not a LeBron fan per se, but like when I see celebrities in shoes, I try to stay away from it because that only means that there's going to be a lot of hype behind it.
Yeah.
This release, this wasn't the Air Max shoe that got actually released. It was released a few days or weeks before, but it was a Nike ID. Okay, the ID options were, I think you can change. I think it was like 1 or 2 options. It was around, I want to say $350 a pair. Like it was ridiculously. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, like I want to get all 3 because there was 3 that got released. So the story behind the shoe is essentially. There was this ad, which is an original ad, and it's actually a leaflet of the different artists that back in when the 180s were released, there's a whole leaflet of it, but basically there's this particular artist was named Ralph Steedman, and Ralph actually created a lot of the advertisements behind the 180. So when the 180s dropped, there was a push, like a marketing push, and he was one of the artists that was featured. So as you can see, there's a little rabbit in the
Yeah.
front. And so to
Oh
pay
man.
homage, Nike also put that on the tag.
Yo.
The shoe in
That's
general,
sick, bro.
and big ups to the Air 180 because
That's
it's
crazy.
the 30th anniversary. And
Mhm.
so I'm hoping that something's going to be in the hopper for this year.
Needs to.
But the material, everything from the material to the detail, the shape, everyone's going to argue that the 180 shape, like the toe is kind of fucked. And I'm not going to deny that, but that can always be reshaped. But the actual material, the entire shoe is like nappy. Like it's
It looks
nappy,
good,
right?
bro. Yeah. Yeah.
It's super fire. And I'm not a person that used that term lightly because it's the first time I've ever used it.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's the shoe's super cool. It pays homage to obviously the creative sort of mind behind the artistic work, which is Ralph Steedman, but also Tinker, because Tinker was one of the individuals that I think it was either a dual sort of partnership in creating the 180, or it may have just been strictly Tinker. I totally forget at this point in time. But long story short, the 180, obviously it has that infrared, sorry, not the infrared, the ultramarine sort of colorway as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Paying homage to the OG as well.
OG, yep.
Overall, it's a classic shoe. Love it. I wish I got more pairs. When I try to get more pairs, it's sold out. One, I got it on like on, I think I got it on sneakers, or I got it on the Nike website. I never score on the Nike website.
Same.
Right. So for me to score, that's a win.
Straight up, bro.
To actually get it shipped, because I was actually scared that I wasn't going to get it. But I got confirmation. Obviously, I received it. It was super fire. I dealt with like the $700 bill later on, but that's needless to say. But yeah, overall, it's a sick shoe. I advise anyone to, if they can get one or if they see one online, it's worth it. My personal opinion.
I don't know, man. That's fire, bro. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to see what else you have, man. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, like, and the
That's
thing
crazy,
is that,
man.
like, a lot of people ask me, like, what's your favorite, like, sort of Air Max? Like, is it a 90? Is it a 97? Is it a maybe a 180? Is it a 95? To be entirely honest, like, I never started to consider what was my favorite model until I sort of got older. And as I got older, my pairs got my pairs that I collected got older.
Yeah.
As you know, any sort of bigger air unit that's exposed is more susceptible to breaking and things of that nature. So I've now gravitated. I used to love 90s. I still do love 90s. I have a few 95s. 97, but anything with larger air units, I kind of now stray away from, just because the longevity of the shoe. That's the reason why Jordan 1s are and Dunks are able to last the period of time, because there's no exposed air unit. And if there was an exposed air unit, I would go with something small. And now that people are now getting creative with like sole swapping and things of that nature, but when it comes to like 97s and stuff like that, like I try to stray away from. But not one of my shoes that I have ready is a 97.
Let's go.
Okay, so
let's do it, bro.
This is a pair that I can't
remember the Kashimas, bro.
Yeah, so you guys can see like the air unit literally is fogged the fuck out.
Mine's the same way.
I love it though, because it's almost like sneaker patina. But I fell in love with this shoe. I forget where I got this. I want to say I got it at the Vault, or I got it years ago. And it's this story kind of transcends into another pair, but I never even knew, and call me naive, right? Like, being in North America, soccer's not big, or football, whatever you want to call it. It's not big, not as big as where it is in like the UK and other places in the world. So I never even knew that Japan actually had a soccer team. Okay, I knew that they were big on baseball, anything Americana they love, right? But when it came to soccer, I never knew it. And so when I got these shoes, I got it because primarily I was huge into like animal print back then, right? So like back in the day, animal print was like, so I don't want to say not as highly regarded. Now you throw cement on anything right now, everyone buys it, right? But back then it was kind of like, what the fuck is that, right? So it's kind of like cementy, or I don't know if you want to call that like elephant print, or I don't know what it is, but long story short, I dug the shoe. Typically not an all black kind of shoe guy, but long story short, the details, everything about it, the silhouette of this actual 97, I'm not gonna lie, the silhouette of a 97, super sexy. But the details on the shoes actually super insane. But what I guess it was, every sort of shoe has a story, and the people that are coming up with the shoe kind of curate that story, just like you guys are doing for this podcast. And so from this shoe, I learned Japan has a huge soccer following, and they're called like Shima Antlers. And it came with like this like sticker pack. So you guys probably still have this. So it came with the whole sticker pack, and it gave me like a history of the shoe and like the soccer league and things of that nature, right? So that also got me into thinking, okay, well, what else don't I know? And I found out that, and big ups to Hung. Hung. I bought a pair of BWs, and they were super cool. It was kind of plain, kind of whatever subtle colors, nothing super wild. I was into speckle mids back then, but there was Paris Saint Germain's, and that was the first time I've ever heard of. Yeah, Paris Saint Germain's, and I was thinking like,
crazy.
I've never heard of Paris Saint Germain, but the shoes still. I never knew the backstory of it. And then I later find out that Paris Saint Germain is a soccer team.
So for
like,
sure.
A lot of people, and I don't know if kids these days appreciate, like maybe older generation like us do, with regards to history, the story behind it, and things of that nature. But I now know that, okay, Paris Saint Germain is a soccer team, and now I think a lot of people know PSG for its linkage with sort of Jordan brand. And I think Jordan brand was smart in doing that because they kind of cross bridges, right? So I mean, a lot of Air Maxes, I'll be the first one to admit it. If you guys think that you guys pay a lot for sneakers, you guys pay nothing in comparison to what I pay, because one, I have a small foot. Two, I buy, I want to say 60 to 70% of my shoes overseas. So I'm paying duty on every single pair.
And the duties is brutal, bro.
Oh, hold on. And that's the reason why eBay banned me like 3 times, because I would ask sellers to go offline and say, okay, you know what? Hit me off offline, put it as a postage, and then eBay would say, oh yeah, you're doing illegal transactions. You have to do everything on our platform. And I'm like, no, that's not me. And then they send me a screenshot of my conversations with people saying that you're lying, you're banned. And then anyways, long story short, they, I guess through sneakers, you learn a lot of things. And I think when Donald Trump was talking about people, I think he was saying last time that people like muled sneakers. I have sneaker mules all over the world. Literally, that would literally I would send sneakers to different parts of the world and have people bring them back for me. Right. So, but yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. But
crazy, bro.
I have another pair, and this actually has a story. It's a funnier story. So it's a newer pair.
It is. Okay. Yes.
It's a newer pair. And when this pack came out, I already knew that it was going to be hard to get. I already knew that it was a hands down hard to get. And few years ago, I don't know how many years ago, like a few years ago, I bought something off of eBay, and I became friends with somebody, right? And I was like, yo, man, listen, like, you're my size. If you have this that you're selling, what else do you have? I don't really care about this, but what else do you have, right? So, like, ordinary people just shop in the front. I shop in the back, right? So, like, when Hung was hooking me up, I was getting things from the back. Anyways, the story behind this, so the story behind this is my friend that works for Size in the UK messaged me at 4 a.m. Okay. And I hear like,
I think you told me the story.
So 4 a.m. I get a text message. He's like, yo, I just got to the store and I have your shoe. Like, I'm like, what shoe? Because
Ugh.
this also came with the 95. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I'll get the 95, right? And then, so anyway, I ended up returning it later on after finding how much I was going to pay on duty on this, and I got this. So anyways, my buddy's like, yo, I got you the Air Max one in your size. I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yo, send me your details. So here I am, literally half asleep at 4 a.m. And I'm like, okay, here's my address. Give me your PayPal. I'll send you the money. Anyways, he sends me a screenshot of the postage, right? Like, okay, I made the address. Does this look correct? I'm like, yeah. And then I went back to bed. Anyways, a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. I'm like, yo, like, I don't see anything. Like, what's that tracking number again? So he gives me the tracking number. I'm looking at it, and it's not in the UK. It's not with Royal Mail. It's not with Canada Post. So anyways, I don't know how many months go by. I mean, it was maybe like a month and a half. And I was like, you know what? Like, and Canada Post is like, you know what? If it doesn't show up, there's I think $100 insurance, so we can give you like
That's
100.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want the fucking 100.
Man.
Keep your 100. I want my fucking shoes. And then my mailman comes, and I know him personally. And I'm like, yo, Richard, like, he's like, Sean, are these the shoes? And I'm like, I don't know, because I wasn't expecting anything. I rip up the box. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yo, these are the fucking shoes. So, anyways, big ups to my friend in the UK that worked on size that hooks me up.
Straight up, bro.
This was and it just tells you that there are real collectors out there, right? And obviously we bonded over eBay and just kind of built a relationship, and I appreciate that. But he understands the actual like ethics behind it. He didn't charge me
Extra
resale.
Yeah.
There was no extra. Do you know what I mean? He could have easily done it because the shoe now retails for a lot. But the shoe, because I know that you guys have it, or I know Alvin has it, but I know that when you look at the actual shoe, the detail of it, and I wore this to Christian's
just kicking it.
Yeah, just kicking it, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm looking at Los, big up the Los, and I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? This guy's riding a bike in Dave White's," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" But
Dave White's,
yeah, Los is crazy, bro.
The detail on the shoe, so obviously, like the minis, sort of iconic and kind of big when these released. But the cobblestone sort of imprinted.
Yeah, bro.
About the shoes, super sexy.
Perfect. It's
a newer release. The only thing that I would say that I was kind of, it's kind of deflating, and maybe you can testify to this or not, but the tongue, I feel everything was well executed. Don't get me wrong, and big ups to Size, because Size never lets me down.
They always do well, bro.
Why I always fuck with Size, but the tongue could have been more meshy as opposed to whatever this sort of mesh is. That's the only thing I didn't like about the shoe. Otherwise, well executed. Flawless, no defects, no extra glue, nothing, no fucking bullshit like that. An amazing pair. And yeah, I fuck a lot with brands that haven't made their extension to the North American market. So i.e. like Size, right? And I know Size literally just acquired Livestock, and that's going to be a whole other fucking shit show altogether. But I can't wait to see what they have in store. That just means that hopefully we get part of the UK stock.
Hopefully,
a lot of their exclusive shit, but no, like it's companies like like brands like Atmos, because I was fucking with Atmos before it became like whatever, right? Before they got their traction, and I know you guys were too. So I would always fuck with brands that a lot of people didn't know back then, right? That didn't have sort of a footprint in the market. I also have a couple other pairs. I have the receipt actually. I don't know if I still have I don't think I have it here, but this is
those are Huff Quakes, bro.
Yeah.
So I have those too, man.
These are beautiful shoes. One, because they don't have a mesh toe, and I know I'm going over my 3 sneaker limit, but
that's okay, bro.
The details of this back then, in my personal opinion, was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I got these from the good people at Goodfoot. So big up Matt, Jazar. And the overall shoe, sexy, perforated toe. It's one of those shoes that if you're gonna put a perforated toe on anything, if you're gonna put something that's gonna be leather on a toe and you still want to make it super sexy and durable and sort of flexible, perforated is the only way to go. And I think all Air Max heads or anyone that owns a
Agreed.
pair of leather toe box shoes would agree with that. Perforated toes are sexy, man. Like it's not mesh, but I'd still fuck with it. And so I think this is a nice pair.
Yeah.
And I have, this is kind of weird. So I got these online, and they're the juries.
Ooh.
And I always wanted these.
Yeah,
and
Joel has those joints.
Yeah, so these, obviously it has the 3M hits. I actually got these from Buddha Kicks. Okay. And it was a trade. So I wasn't really out of pocket that much, but either way, it was a trade. And I didn't pay anything for the shoe that I got it from or traded it for. But either way, it pays homage to, I think, the UK pirate radio sort of DJs and stuff like that. But long story short, the details of the shoes fucking insane. It needs to get re-glued, but I still love it. And Vault had a pair of these, and
the Vault,
at university, I still had I think I had some OSAP money, and I had to put them down. And I always said to myself, if I ever find these in my size, I'm not going to think twice again. Air Maxes to me are just hugely sentimental because of my upbringing, and I think a lot of people, if I'm going to say anything to anyone, even though I wear a particular pair and a particular brand and a particular model, fuck with what you fuck with. You know what I mean? If you like it, if you're into Roches and you collect Roches, I applaud you. I guess my story is, don't do it for the money, because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with principle. And if you're a man of principle, then money's not the object at all, right?
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, that's my only message. But I'm probably talking way over my 30-minute limit.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, man. Man, that was... I got goosebumps.
Knowledge, bro.
Dropping knowledge. I love the history.
Yeah,
we got to have you back on the actual True to Size podcast for more stories.
I would love it, man.
For sure.
Bro, Sean, this was dope. Thank you, man. This was
crazy. Thank you guys for having me. I want you guys to keep safe, keep healthy. Hope your family's all safe and healthy. And hopefully we're all going to meet up in a lineup on the 26th. I don't know what that's going to look like. Maybe 6 feet apart, but at least you know that no one's going to bum rush 6 feet in front of us, right? So
straight up.
For real,
man. But I appreciate you guys having me. I mean, you guys are true OGs and putting Canada on the map, and what you guys do for the Ronald McDonald House and everything like that. People should donate to that because it's a huge cause, and you guys are just paying it forward, and I appreciate that. So you guys are doing a huge contribution to the sneaker community and Canada as well. So I salute you guys as well. Thanks again for having me. All right.
Thank you. Yo, everyone who's watching, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about Sean's stories, his pickups, his history. I know you guys want him back on. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Canada Got Soul. Make sure you follow Big Bro Sean at Uncle Sean Sneakers. Make sure you like the video. Kuya Joel, what do they do?
Smash the subscribe button, yo.
Smash that fucking subscribe button. Big ups to Canada Got Soul. I mean, you guys do it big, man. I mean, like, anyone that's not following you is a fucking fool, to be straight up with you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Because the amount of immense knowledge that you guys have and you guys share, I think is what is actually the bright light into kind of guiding new up and coming sneaker collectors that don't know the lineage, that don't know the history. And I think it's important for you guys to share that knowledge with them. And you guys are doing just that by having me as a guest, as well as many other guests. So I think it's we're just kind of passing that torch down the line, right? So when they get older, they'll understand because they learn from us, you, and things like that. So I appreciate that.
Hey, and on that note, man, we are out. Peace.
All right, peace.
Peace out, yo.